the Rutherford County 4-H Council and Rutherford County Senior Center and United Way Council, we want to welcome everyone to our 2014 Political Forum. Please stand as Savannah Smith from the United Way Youth Council leads us in the Pledge of Allegiance. And Madison Breedlove, 4-H member, will lead us in the 4-H Pledge. The 4-H Pledge is printed on the back of your programs for those who may not be familiar with it.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I pledge my head to clear thinking, my heart to greater loyalty, my hands to larger service, and my health to better living for my club, my community, my country, and my world.
Hi, my name is Savannah Bell, and I'm an active 4-H member in the Rutherford County 4-H. Tonight, it is my honor to introduce our timekeeper and moderator. Lou Gillum is the Program Director and Operations Manager at WCAB. She's experienced with keeping time at forums. In other words, she's not only Jim's right hand, she's his left hand too. Next, our moderator, Mr. Jim Bishop, and he really doesn't need an introduction. He has moderated many forums and emceed main events. Mr. Bishop is the president of Isothermals Broadcasting Company, which owns WCAB. He also has the Morning Early Show. Thank you, Mr. Bishop and Lou, for agreeing to moderate and time our political forum. Now I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you very much. So let me give just a couple of steps in terms of my couple steps. Each candidate will be given 2 minutes opening statements. Then we'll ask the questions. And the questions have been submitted from the community through various sources. They received some questions at the Ellenboro Fair, online, and through the Senior Citizen Center. So those are the questions that have been submitted tonight. After the questions have been rendered and answered, the candidates then will be given a 2-minute closing statement to wrap things up. And we give them a 30-second warning here. In 30 seconds, Lou will wave the red flag at them, and in 30 seconds they have to shut down and shut down. I'll try to start with the way it is in the program so I can follow on. I'll go first with the clerk of security of court. Draw the first question out this evening. Do you feel public relations are important? Oh, I'm sorry. Take that part out of that moderating forum. All right. We'll start right here with the clerk report.
Hey, I'm Steve Owens, and I'm running for. Okay, this is better. I'm Steve Owens, and I'm running for the Republican Clerk of Court. I work presently in the DA's office, been up in the judicial system 16 plus years, started out in the clerk's office. Prior to that, I had 20-some years experience in management with a major national company as a manager trainer, multi-store manager that dealt with all different issues from budgets and multi-million-dollar companies and setting those up and making them work. I worked with lots of different employees. Most stores had anywhere about 20 different employees apiece, had 6, 7 different stores at a time. And my experience in the public, before I even started with government, was about 20-some years. So instead of just ending it, now I'm serving in government capacity. And I want to serve the people in this county. And thank you very much.
Good evening. My name is Chris Francis, Sheriff of Rutherford County. I'm originally from Rutherford County. I grew up here, and I was raised in the Chase community. I'm a graduate of Chase High School in 1992. I started on Community College in 1994, and I graduated of Appalachian State University with a Bachelor of Science in Criminal Justice in 1996. I went to my basic law enforcement training in 1995 and became a reserve deputy with the Avery County Sheriff after that completion, and did that my last year of college. After college, I went to be a police officer with the Hickory Police Department. during that time, I married my high school sweetheart, Jill Bradley Francis, and we've been married to be 18 years this December. Might be my wife just happy that I remember how long it's been. We have 2 wonderful children. We have a 14-year-old and we have a 11-year-old. They're both in Rutherford County schools. My wife is a teacher at Chase High School and teaches biology. I've continuously been in law enforcement for the last 19 years. I've already told you I started off with the Hager County Sheriff's Office as a reserve deputy while I was finishing my degree at Appalachian State University. After completion of that, I did go to Hager Police Department and left there to come back home. Being married to a young lady from Shiloh, Rutherford County would be a good place to get her back. And Hager was a little bit bigger city than I think that she was wanting to live, and I did want to come back home as well. So we were blessed to come back. I was a Far City police officer, rose to the rank of corporal and a field training officer there. Then I went to the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office where I was a school resource officer. I also was a child abuse investigator, and then after that went to Lake Lord Police Department and was there for 2 years and ran for sheriff, and I've been your sheriff for 4 years. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Ted Bell, and I'm asking for your vote for district attorney. As background about myself, I was a helicopter pilot for the Army for about 7 years. Then I went to Carolina for undergraduate and law degrees. I've been a practicing attorney for over 10 years, and most recently was a prosecutor in the district attorney's office. I've been married for 12 years to my beautiful bride, Maggie, and we've got 2 wonderful daughters, ages 6 and 9. I'm running for district attorney because as a prosecutor in the district attorney's office, I knew we could do better for the people of the community. The district attorney has 3 jobs. 1, to fight crime and fight it hard. 2, to take care of victims. And 3, to be a true public servant and to serve the people. With regards to the first, I'm tired of seeing criminals not being held accountable for the crimes they commit and getting slaps on the wrist. We have people that's been charged with murder that walk away with plea deals of only 17 months or even worse, probation. Just the other week, we had a man charged with child pornography. He had over 26 extremely graphic images of adults having sex with toddlers. Yet was able to work out a plea deal allowing him to serve only time served and probation. That's not right. We need to send a message to the criminals that we're not going to tolerate it in Rutherford County anymore. With regards to taking care of victims, that should be the #1 priority of the district attorney. Yet when Matthew Lale was killed in a drunk driving crash, and his mom called to speak to the district attorney to find out how does this process work, what's going to happen, she called every 3 or 4 days for 6 to 8 weeks, and the district attorney would not call her back. Worse, 8 weeks before the trial, the district attorney took a $500 campaign contribution from the defendant's lawyer. Now, what kind of message did that send to her as a victim about where the priorities were? We need to be tough on crime. We need to take care of victims. And the district attorney should be there to serve the people. If you have a question, if you have a problem, the district attorney should be there for you. And that's what I'll do as district attorney, and I appreciate your vote. Thank you.
First off, thank 4-H for doing what they do now. I think it's very important for everybody to be informed, so when you come to vote, you know what people stand for. Most of you know me, half of you, probably some of you like me, some of you don't, because I'm very sure of where I stand. I'm a fiscal and social conservative. I believe marriage is between one man and one woman. That's why I voted to send Amendment 1 so you guys could vote on it. I'm a social conservative. I believe that we should protect the rights of the unborn. That's why we passed legislation to do that. I am staunchly pro-life. And I am conservative. I believe that you should have to have a valid ID, state ID, when you go vote, which we will in 2016. I'm also a fiscal conservative. I believe in a fair tax system. I believe it ought to treat everybody the same. I believe in smaller government. I believe in an efficient government that takes as little of your money as possible and spends it as efficiently as possible. And also, I believe the government should get out of your way and let you lead your own life. In 2010, when I filed in 2010, I promised one sure thing. I promised that I would create an environment where jobs would grow. As a result of that, since 2011, we've created 1,400 new jobs in Rutherford County and have $1 billion worth of investment. We will continue to do that. My vision for this county, my vision for the state is very simple. One is to keep doing what we're doing. We need to keep growing jobs so every mother and father doesn't have to decide whether they're going to pay their rent or buy food or pay their mortgage or pay their light bill. Give them a job and give them responsibility. And have an education system where we don't continue to lag behind the United States, and this county lag behind the state. We deserve better. So thank you for your vote.
Maydeen Bradley Hodge, and I am the Democratic candidate for Clerk of Court. First of all, I want to thank the Rutherford County 4-H Council, the Senior Center, and the United Way Youth Council, along with Rutherford County Farm Bureau for sponsoring this event tonight and allowing us to be here to present ourselves. When I started off in February, there were 9 candidates running for Clerk of Court. It has been a long run. It has been a fun run. I've enjoyed meeting each of you, but this opportunity to be here tonight is special here at the Senior Center. I am a lifelong resident of Rutherford County. I grew up on a farm in Rutherford County. Work is not something I'm afraid of. I look forward to being able to serve you in the capacity of your Clerk of Court. I have served the Rutherford County school students for over 15 years, and I have actual Clerk of Court experience for over 8.5 years in the clerk's office. During that time, I gained valuable experience, which allows me to be able to go into the clerk's office on day one without having to have a learning curve. I will be able to start as your Clerk of Court and let your tax dollars go to work that day. As I said, I grew up in Rutherford County. I married to Donnie Hodge for 42 years. We married very young. And, we have 3 sons, Travis, Tim, and Thad. And as of Saturday, we now have 3 daughter-in-laws. Our youngest son was married on Saturday. We have 6 grandchildren. It is my desire to go to the Clerk of Court office to serve you, the citizens of Rutherford County. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Jack Connor. Back in 2006, I ran for sheriff and was your sheriff for 4 years. Just to give you a little bit about myself, I started off as a single police officer in Spindale Police Department in the early 70s. Worked my way up to assistant police chief and on to police chief. And before I left there, I was also the fire chief and police chief for 4 years. And I retired from there in early 2003. Everybody kept talking to me about running for sheriff, so I ran for sheriff in 2006 and kept that office till 2010. I'm pro law enforcement, been law enforcement all my life. That's all I know, that's all I like doing, I enjoy it. I serve the people, I try to protect the people, try to work with the people. And just a little bit about my home life. I'm married to Kathy, my wife. Been married for, like Maydeen said, we married at a young age. I've been married to her 42 years. I have 2 daughters and 5 grandchildren. And I try to support my family well. And I want to be your sheriff again. I think we accomplished a few things from 2006 through 2010. We started domestic violence officer, first one ever in the county. We started Project Lifesaver. We started the child exchange area. And a couple other little small things that we've done that's already been in existence and still in existence. So please vote for me this year for your sheriff. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Brad Greenway. I've been your elected district attorney for the past 8 years. I'm seeking re-election to office. Unlike most of these candidates, I actually have 2 counties that I have to represent. The other is McDowell. Prior to 2006, this was a 5-county district. But I do, in fact, represent McDowell and Rutherford counties. I grew up as a western North Carolina native, about 15 miles to the west on the edge of Polk County, which probably all of you have heard of. And I'd like to thank, first off, all of you for coming out this evening. This is a nice crowd, and it's good to see so many people so interested in the campaigns that are ongoing this year. I attended the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill on a Navy ROTC scholarship, served 6.5 years on active duty, went to law school at Campbell University School of Law, and was fortunate enough to be hired here in Rutherford County in 1983 by Judge Woodrow Jones, who many of you will remember, the federal judge here. Later on became, after 3 years with him, a partner in the firm of